Welcome back. So, today we are looking at a game that I rather enjoy. Kind of fits into the whole World War II vibe. And this is Steel Division 2, which, for those of you that don't know, just got a new DLC to it. And effectively, what it does is it brings a bunch of divisions from the previous title over. They brought some of them over when the game first released with like a pre-order DLC, and a lot of the ones that weren't in the game have been backfilled in. And, for some context, Steel Division is made by Eugen. It follows the whole war game style of gameplay, but it's evolved on that a little bit. I'm a big fan of war game. Um, I'm warming up to Warno, and I like Steel Division 2, but initially this focused very heavily on the Eastern Front, and it was primarily the Nazis and the Soviets. And these days they've moved on a bit and they've included all sorts of different divisions from many different countries, and it's made it very interesting. So, for example, if we scroll through here, this is mostly Soviet, but now we've got Americans, Canadians, Czech, Romanians, the whole nine yards. I want to say this is South African. We've got Free French, Polish, Germans, Romanians, Hungarians, Finns, Italians. But now I need to look at making divisions. Oh yeah, Bulgarians too. Can't forget them. And I want to say they added like Swedes, but they might have gotten folded into the Finnish divisions. I don't remember. But anyway, I need to work on making the new divisions that have come out into something usable. So I'm probably going to be tabbing back and forth here and there to see what is new. We'll probably start with the Germans, because that's usually what I do. And then we'll go from there. To be entirely honest, though, I think the most exciting part of this is getting more American and British divisions. And I'm looking forward to both running the normal, like, historical allies and axis, but I actually am kind of looking forward to running allies versus allies and running the Americans and the British against the Russians and doing like a theoretical Cold War breakout kind of game. But as I said, we'll probably start with the Germans. So there's 14 new divisions this time around. There's the 2nd Panzer Division, the 9th Panzer Division, the 1st SS Panzer Division Adolf Hitler, the 16th Luftwaffe Field Division, the improvised Festung Grosse Paris, and the 91st Luftland Division and 716 Infantry Division. So we'll probably start with the 1st SS Adolf Hitler, then do the Panzer divisions, then do the Luftwaffe divisions, then we'll probably end with the infantry divisions. And then I'll probably split this into a second video to do the Allied half. For context, though, the Allies have the 1st Infantry, the 101st Airborne, the 4th Armored, the British Guards Armored Division, the 7th Armored Division Desert Rats, the 4th Canadian Armored Division, and the French commandos from Demi Brigade SAS. Which, of all of these, I'm really looking forward to the 101st Airborne and the Demi Brigade SAS. The other ones are cool, but they're probably not quite as exciting for me. The other thing that I really like about this game is that it actually embraces history, and so it doesn't sit here and try to censor the iconography. It talks about the history of the divisions when you go to make them, usually highlights one of their unit commanders. You get the idea. So, for example, right here, the 1st division we're going to look at is the 1st SS Panzer Adolf Hitler. So, their description, the 1st SS Panzer Leibstandard SS Adolf Hitler started as the Führer's personal bodyguard, eventually becoming a full panzer division participating in almost all World War II campaigns. Later, combat in Italy and the Eastern Front prepared it well for deployment to Normandy. The battle mauled and in decline compared to its 1943 peak. The elite LSSAH could still count on plentiful combat experienced units and heavy equipment when countering the Allied landings. The Axis Tank Division is well equipped with Panther, Panzer IV, Stug 3G units, though it lacks lighter armored recon vehicles and air cover. The armored vehicles are backed by veteran LSSAH infantry in various roles, from recon to leaders and Panzer Grenadiers, all featuring the fanatical trait. The 1st SS Panzer Division LSSAH is a versatile armored division that can quickly switch between defensive and offensive operations. So, that is to say, this is probably going to be a very powerful division. Generally, armored divisions in this game are very good. This is the kind of game where if you don't have the right tools, it can be very difficult to do certain things. So what I mean by that is if you have an armored division, you can, as it talked about, switch pretty easily between an offensive and a defensive posture, which is kind of a big deal. If you're running an infantry division, you're really running support for the rest of your team, except for certain situations and depending on your deck, because you can get absolutely cracked infantry divisions where even though they don't have good armored support, they have enough artillery and aircraft available to them that they can suppress the enemy enough for you to push forward. But this is very much so the type of game where if you can put a tank into a commanding position, you can absolutely obliterate whatever resistance is there, and then get your infantry pushed across and seize territory. But, likewise, the same thing can be true of the enemy to you, so. Generally, I prefer armored and mechanized units because of that in this game, and generally speaking, there are a lot of those on the German side, so I tend to favor the German side. So, let's get into it. So, again, I'm assuming that people haven't played this before when I'm talking about things. Basically, you build a deck in this game, and depending on the division, you'll have different allowances and different costs for each of your card slots. And then when you go into battle, those represent actual units and how much you can call in. And then you have choices between your economy. But basically, you choose all that before you go into battle. And each division has different things available to them. So, I'm going to start making this, and we'll see where we get. I generally favor larger scout units because I prefer to be able to use them as actual infantry. Like, I'm sure that these spec troops are probably pretty effective, but I like having recon that I can actually use integrated into my formation. The little two-man squads are pretty nice for getting out there on flanks and just spotting things, but admittedly I also undervalue recon. I know that it's important, and I know that it's powerful, but I'm not always the best at actually making use of them. Alright, so we have a few different options here. This is the infantry tab, so this is really going to be the core of the army. As much as I want to take these Sturm Grenadiers and just pump them into armored half-tracks, to be honest, these guys are probably going to be better, and these guys are probably more worth protecting, which is why I'm going to end up putting them in half-tracks, and I'll probably run one set in B phase and one set in C phase just for depth. Admittedly, I don't really play this online competitively. I mostly play, with my friends against the AI, but in the past I've played this and Wargame online. So what I go with may not actually be, like, meta, quote-unquote. They're just things that I prefer. I am still going to take the Sturm Grenadiers, and actually, see, if I put them in A phase, because I can put them in A phase, they'll be very powerful against other infantry, because normally the way that I usually will set up my initial start in the game, I'll do like a land rush somewhere and pick a position and go in, try to secure it and hold that position. And really the goal of my A phase is usually to hold out until I can get more stuff available in B phase. So, like, I can take 6 of them in A phase, or I can take twice as many in B phase, which might be more powerful, or, you know, 3 times as many as A phase and C phase. But the problem is, I find more often than not, the battle is not decided, but like, it's heading in that direction by the time we're done with B phase, so it's either A or B. There are veterancy options too, but to be honest, I like quantity. It would be less of an issue if you actually just got more of them, but, you know. I guess we'll put them in B. We are going to have to put something in A, but... Actually, you know what? That might be the play. We could put the Sturm Grenadiers in A instead of B, because we'll have the Sturm Pioneers in B instead. Let's see. See, ideally, I hate that these guys don't get any sort of integrated AT. The only ones that do are these guys. And actually, these guys get Panzerfaust, but these guys are disheartened. And so, if I'm going to take disheartened troops, that means I'd also have to take MPs to keep them from running away. And I don't necessarily want to do that, but we can figure that out later. Also, we're going to have to pick one of the leaders. Smokescreen is probably more valuable. So I guess we'll go with the Pioneer Fuhrer. Oh, what did I just do? Yeah, that ought to be good. That gives us a decent spread. Alright, now tanks. This is really the highlight of what we're going to get in this division. It's a real shame that we don't get any Tigers, but to be honest, Panthers are honestly very good. You can take Panthers in every phase. So I might actually end up making a second version of this at some point that's like an A phase rush. Interesting. I'm probably going to go for a more balanced approach this time around, though. So basically what we're doing right now is we're taking 6 Panzer IV-Js in A phase. I'm tempted to add more Panzer IV-Hs, although, to be honest, I'm not sure how much of a benefit it's going to be bringing Hs over Js. they're pretty similar, given that, you know, they're basically the same thing, just with side skirts. The alternative is to take either Stugs or Panzer IV-H's in B phase. I don't really have a strong opinion between the two. The Stugs are pretty good. They do have better frontal armor, which actually might be to their benefit. Having a turret's nice and all, but it's not really the end of the world in this. We could also take them in A phase, but at that point I feel like we're better off just taking more J's, which I think is what we'll do. So that'll give us a solid infantry support for our A phase, and then we'll have all the heavy armor come in B and C phase. Alright, so this is just me. I like adding a commandant. I understand that they're not really necessary, but I like them. And actually, we could do a Command Panther instead, but the thing is, if I take a Commandant, I'll leave him in the back of the map somewhere, and he'll sit on his radio the whole game, and he'll be alive. If I bring a Command Panther, I'm probably going to send it to the front and actually use it to fight from, like, the second line, and it's probably going to get blown up at some point. I really want to get these enlisted, the flamethrower half-tracks. We'll come back. I'm actually doing really bad on my points. I'm probably going to have to go back through and edit some of this. Although AT is kind of non-existent for these guys, so be it. The 88s in this game are phenomenal. That'll probably be my entire AA network. I know it's not ideal. I really should bring like one of these, but you know what, fuck it. I'll bring one tile of those instead. They have some pretty fun artillery too. I like self-propelled guns because they can shoot and scoot pretty well. But at the same time, I like rocket artillery just because it's fun. Not because it's like really good or anything, mind you. I just like rocket artillery, alright? So with that understanding, we're going to bring lots of rocket artillery. Even though it's probably not going to be good, I just like rocket artillery. They did say that the planes were kind of lacking, so we have Antons with only guns, we have Antons with bombs. This is probably the play. 2850 kilo bombs. Can you imagine getting that in enlisted? Imagine you get to fly in and drop 2850 kilo bombs on the battlefield. You'd drop it, and you'd hit everything from your spawn all the way to the objective. I mean, it'd be like dropping grenades on them, but still. So, we have 3 points. I feel like the only real play we can make is bringing these because they can double as fighters to go after enemy planes. And then we throw in the A phase pack 40 and we're sitting there right at 50. Now, there's a few options that we have here. I could probably skimp on like tanks or infantry or whatever, and I could probably bring more artillery. If I knew that I was playing into like an air heavy deck, I might consider adding more AA, but Usually I don't. I don't think I ever max out my AA unless all of these are just 1 point and I've got a lot to throw around. Likewise, normally I do like to bring mortars, so if I wasn't being an idiot here, I would probably bring either the foot mortars or I'd bring one of these. And then I would probably bring the Hummel or the Wesp in for my other tiles. So I'd probably do like 1 thing of mortars and then 3 things of normal artillery. And it probably wouldn't be terrible to bring the Ju-88 in, but to be honest, 50 kilo bombs, they might kill infantry, but I'm not really that concerned. Alright, so we're not worried about defenses because we're probably not going to play that game mode, and if we do, we can figure that out. So these are going to highlight which phase things come in, so obviously we're not bringing a whole lot in C phase, we're more A and B phase. I don't really want to run Vanguard because this isn't really designed to be a blitz deck. So I'm leaning towards either the balanced or a flat line. Sometimes I run Maverick. It's actually not bad. But I think we'll run balanced for now. So that one's done. Like I said, I'll probably make another variant of this that is all hyper-focused on A phase, but I can do that in the future. Now, our next deck is the 2nd Panzer Division. I'm not going to read through all of these, but I just wanted to point out with the first one that we did that they're pretty cool descriptions. So, these guys actually have a pretty hefty set of recon that they can take. And sometimes there are actually pretty cool units in here, like sometimes you can find snipers and whatnot. I normally go towards infantry for my scouts, but I think we're gonna go with tanks. Although I need something for A phase, so do we want to go Pumas? That could be another fun one to get enlisted. We already basically have this one. I really don't want to waste any more points on scouts, but we'll come back to them. You know, I say waste points on scouts, and I'm sure somebody heard that and, like, audibly cringed. I know that they're very important, I just feel like there's more value in other places. It's probably... yeah, that's the way it's gonna be. Alright, so back into tanks. So this division doesn't look like it's going to be that different than the one that we just had, although this one doesn't have A-phase Panthers available, which is fine. We're probably still going to go really hard into Panthers. Let's see, B-phase, B-phase. They actually don't get A-phase tanks at all. So the choice is between 4 more Panthers, well, I guess 8 Panthers. I probably should throw something in C-phase. Or 10 Stugs. Actually, you know what? We'll probably drop one of those, and we'll probably put it in C phase, and then we'll probably take the Stugs and put them in B phase. Or we might drop the Stugs and take the Panzer IV Js just because we'll get more of them. Like I mentioned before, the armor on the Stugs is actually pretty significant, but I think we're gonna take these. Get a turret. We're gonna take him because he's an ace, and I'm pretty sure he's our commander, so we're not gonna take a commandant. We're gonna take trucks because we must. I really want to take these just for funsies. We're gonna go a little bit over what I normally would like to in this part of the division. I feel like I should bring MG42s, but we might come back to that. We're gonna need the Pac 40s and A phase. To hell with it, why not? AA, we're gonna take our 88s. We only have 5 points left. And they actually look like they get decent planes. Decisions. 500 kilo bomb's pretty nice. Although to be honest, I'm not sure which one is actually going to be better. Ideally, I want to run this and probably this. And then I guess we will take A-phase mortars. And then we'll take 2 Hummels. I mean, we could take 8 Westbys, which might be better. I think we'll actually do that. Just because we'll be able to hit more areas more frequently. That actually worked out pretty nicely. I was like, 5 points, oh no! But actually this isn't going to be terrible. I wouldn't mind having more planes. I wouldn't mind having more artillery. I'm not too fussed about the AA. And I actually would be okay with dropping the Ag Panzers, but it's only 1 point. I would also be tempted to drop for something here. And this is really a meme. I just want it for funsies. The MG42s are probably more effective, but we've got the flamethrower half-tracks, so they fill similar roles. Should be fine. I'm just going to leave it unbalanced. I'm probably going to tweak these later on, but just for the sake of getting through the list, because we have 7 divisions to get through, and we're half an hour in and we've done 2. Alright, so next we have the 9th Panzer Division. There we go. Admittedly, a lot of these are probably going to look the same, more or less, for now, because at the end of the day, they are Panzer Divisions. Ooh, A-phase. We fuck with that. And they're only 1 point each. I'm actually probably going to do that. Like, this is a way for me to squeeze more tanks into A and B phase, so, I mean, I'm not gonna say no. Honestly, more that I think about that, I should just stick him in A phase. In B phase, I feel like the Lux is gonna be useless. I have to remember to actually look at their vehicles. So I would rather have these guys with half tracks. They're going to be more survivable. These guys are disheartened, so not really ideal. The Kosakin are actually pretty cool. Judging by their weapons, you can kind of get an idea of who they are and where they came from. We're going to bring them for funsies. 8 divisions is probably enough for A phase, but I mean, we're also going to throw this guy in A phase, so that'll be fine. Ooh, what do we have here? That is a spicy option with this one. 37 mil. I think we'll take the short 75 though. So then we've got Pioneers and Sturm Pioneers. Boom. Actually, I lied. Boom, boom. That should be fine. Alright, Tigers. We get 1 card. Big sad. It's a Command Lux. It's so cute. We're probably not going to take it, though. We can take our command tanks in B phase. We'll have infantry command, so it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, that should be fine. Like I said before, this should look fairly familiar at this point. I've been really tempted to take a grill in one of these lists, but I tend to stay away from field guns. See, it really makes you wonder why the infantry pack 40 only gives you 3 cards, but the motorized pack 40 gives you 4. That's so cute. I wonder if that actually rotates all the way. Gonna hazard a guess that it's like partial rotating, but not really. '88s. That's probably all we'll take for them. Alright, so this is a Panzer III artillery observer for... looks like offshore. So it's 172.5. I mean, we'll take it. Because at the end of the day, it's still going to be a tank. And we'll actually bring the Hummel this time. And... let's see. Is there actually a major difference between the two of these? Oh, it's the machine gun. Yeah, we'll take the cheap one. They shouldn't be getting shot at, so shouldn't be an issue. See, I really wish that we would get these in Enlisted. I don't think we'll get them in Enlisted until we get them in War Thunder, but there are cluster bombs in this game. There are actually cluster bombs in DCS as well, in the World War II stuff. It's one of those things that I think is really cool. And I really wish that we had them, but we do not. Alright, so we've got 3 points to throw somewhere. We could bring MG42s or grills. It looks like we're probably going to be 1 point shy in this list. There's not really a whole lot I can do about that. I could drop one of the planes. I don't realistically need both of them, but I could drop one of the planes and bring more artillery. So could also bring these in C phase. I think we'll do that, and then we'll drop the 190s, and we will add in. Could add in more mortars. We'll probably see more air in some of the other divisions that we get to a little bit later. I still... Oh, because that was 2 points. More the fool I. Okay, so I guess we're 1 point shy regardless, unless I drop the plane, but I want to have the cluster bombs in A phase. That way if they do bring in tanks, then I can just swat them. Alright, on to the next one. So next, things should start getting a little bit more interesting. We're going to get the 16th Luftwaffe Field Division. Which, let me find them. There we go. So this is an infantry division. As I recall, they're basically all the support personnel for the Luftwaffe, so they're not really designed to be a frontline unit. But, you know, when the Allies invade France and all that. Yeah, and they're almost all going to be disheartened. Shocker. Let's see. I think I'd rather Molotovs than smoke. Let's put you in A phase. I feel like I should put these guys in A phase. Well, I don't have a choice. But we're going to bring them because they're actually going to stand their ground. Then let's see. MP-28. Those guys look spicy. Hey, they get MG-15s. Look, this is just like your average enlisted squad. Except, you know, half their equipment came out of BR1. Anyway, how many of these can I take? Can I take more than one? Awesome, we can take more than one, so put A phase, B phase, C phase. I would rather have these guys, and we're gonna put them in B phase. And then MG81. I don't know that one. I don't know if I want to know that one. I think we'll take the MG34s. Alright, ooh, they actually get spicy tanks. So, their infantry may be terrible, but, hello tanks. And you can bring them in A phase. I mean, you get, like, none of them, but we're gonna make another version of this deck. We're actually probably gonna do it right after this. That is gonna be fun. Too bad they only get 4 slots. Oh, it's such a shame. They got 5 slots. Oof, that could be so spicy. Alright, we're gonna take that because it looks ridiculous. We'll take Herr Commandant because we must. I really wish they had an MG15 here, and like an emplaced MG15. We'll probably bring this one just because it's a heavy machine gun, and I like heavy machine guns. And we'll bring our trucks, of course. Can't leave home without them, and we actually do need to bring these guys as well. So we're a little bit heavy in support this time around. Gonna bring our captured Firefly. We're gonna bring our captured 17-pounder. See, some of these get, like, unique equipment, and I know there's more effective stuff, but it would feel bad to, like, not bring the cool stuff. Hello. What are you? Well, we'll bring you. I want to bring this just because it's unique, and I don't think that many divisions actually get them. And I guess we'll bring the normal 88s. Ah, so this is what the off-map is for that other group. Alright, these things look like they're not gonna be particularly mobile, so they're probably gonna get blown up. But I like rocket artillery. What can I say? I'm very predictable. We'll still take them though. What do they get for air? They are a Luftwaffe division, right? So you'd expect them to have the Luftwaffe backing them up. Hey, cluster bombs. Alright, we want these. Well, we want more than one. I don't care too much if they miss with 1,000-kilo bombs. As long as they hit in the right postal code. What can I say? I like my bombers. Probably skip on that one. We'll bring this one. Still have points left. Probably skip out on that one and bring this one. See, this is considered ground attack, but I don't know if I want to depend on 20 mil cannons for ground strafing. I think I'd rather just bring more bombers, more artillery or something. Probably artillery, to be honest. Probably bring one more card of these. And we have a point, which I don't think we can actually do anything with. Oh well, it is what it is. Alright, now I want to run that one back. Actually, yeah, whatever, we can just do it from the top. So, A phase. A phase. A phase. I want to bring more tigers, but I feel like the numbers, it's only 2 more. A phase. A B phase. A phase. A phase. We should be a lot faster making this one than the last one. We can't bring them in A phase, so they'll be our backup. These guys, A phase, A phase, A phase. A phase, A phase. B phase. A phase. We're gonna need these guys in A phase. We'll probably bring these fellas. Bring a commandant. We'll actually bring machine guns this time. Yeah, that might have actually been a bit much. A phase. We'll leave the 17-pounder at home. A phase. A phase. Bring you in A phase, A phase, A phase. And A phase. And A phase. Now, we'll bring you A phase, A phase, A phase. It actually might be worthwhile to bring some of the bigger guns, but most of these are going to be solo pieces. Get 3 of these though, so A phase, A phase. I think we can actually just bring everything in A phase, which is, except for these, a little bit dirty. I mean, we get a lot less stuff, obviously, but, you know. Who's complaining? Boom. And to top it all off, we are going to run Vanguard. We will take everything in A phase, or we will die trying. I'm actually really looking forward to running that one. Alright. And the next one is going to be Festung Grosser Paris, which should be another kind of shitty division. C phase, but they are actually mechanized, so they might not actually be as bad as I initially took. I remember some of these loosely from playing Steel Division 44, but I haven't actually played it in a long time. I remember really liking the British Airborne in it, though. Ooh, what are you? Yo, that's actually kind of cool. We get collaborators. We also get whatever that thing is. Alright, alright. This is probably another one that I'm going to have to make more than one of, because I want to run the wacky stuff. The wacky stuff is cool. Oh, and you know what? We have to take that. Isn't that great? They even camouflaged it. I know that this is better. I know it is, but how can we not take this little shit tractor? It's got a chair on the back. Beautiful. Alright. Alright, I really like this group. Alright, so this one, we're prioritize all the weird stuff in this one. But we're gonna make a second version of this that's gonna be more competitive. can bring a ton of these guys. You can bring so many! Would it be wrong of me to just bring nothing but these guys? At 32 divisions! Or squads, I guess. They're not divisions. But 32! Okay, so I can only take one more. Probably put it in B phase then. Still, that's so many! Alright, so... we got the Osttroop in Paris. I feel like we take them... Man, we're gonna run out of transports. Like, straight up, we're gonna run out of transports. I know that these guys are probably the play. I really wish we had something else. Literally gonna run out of transports. There are some really good squads available here, though. Like, the Scheirungs West with the Faustpatron, these are going to be really good, I think. And the Panzer Grenadiers, they should also be quite good. The Panzerjägers should also be quite good. Like, there's so much good stuff here. Anyway, there's our leader. Like I said, I'm gonna make another one of these, so it'll be less scuffed. Because we're leaving really good stuff on the table, but it is what it is. I can't believe this is rated as a C-rate division. I mean, you know, maybe if we're running captured French tanks, but, you know. I may faff about on the infantry there, but we're gonna bring the big boy tanks. Honestly don't know if I'm gonna use the last tank slot. I feel like I should, just to throw something in with A phase. I guess we can boop. Yo! I like that. I like that a lot. Alright. MG08s, huh? I mean, I'm not surprised, but, you know. We're not gonna pass that up. Take that. Just for funsies, why not? Alright, what do we have here? You know, the shitty thing is going to be when I play this into a Russian deck, and we have these little dinky guns that just can't pen T-34s. You can only come in A phase. AT rifles that will literally do nothing. I did notice that all those dudes I was throwing on earlier all came with AT rifles, and I am a little bit... 600 mils! Karl Grat! The mighty railway gun! Yeah! We are taking that. I guess I get fucked in artillery too. Good enough though. Oh, I remember playing this division in the first game. Yeah, their air's really good. I'm pretty sure I made a version of this back in the first game that, that's kind of a neat plane. I'm pretty sure I made one back in the first game that maxed out the air slots on this. Noise, apotes. Recon planes are actually really good in this game, I just don't run them very often. You know, me and skimping out on recon. It is just the way it is. That's gonna be cool as fuck. Bringing that. Bringing that. I might just skimp out on fighters entirely and just bring bombers. Bring that. Bring that. Bring that. Look, 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 look. Alright. It's like Enlisted if they actually gave me good bombs. 500 kilo bombs are enormous. And we get 4 of them on here. We get 6 250s in Enlisted, which really isn't anything to shrug at, but to be honest, I would trade 6 250s for 4 500s. I suppose if we're not going to bring air to keep us from, or, you know, air defense planes, then I probably should bring more AA. And I know I should bring more 88s, but I think we're going to bring these for funsies. We'll bring them in A phase. See how they do. This is going to be our weird deck. I'm going to make a better version of this, though. It'll probably be faster if I just copy it. F, I don't know where they're going to be in this list, though. Ah, there we go. Lucky me. Alright, copy. Alright, where to put them? Scheisse. Ah, there we go. Alright. We will edit this one. Alright. So, what do we have here? Maybe we put you in B phase. We put these fellas also in B phase. A phase, B phase. A phase. Now here we get some choices. I feel like we take the Bavarians. Guess we'll put them in A phase. This is kind of a heavy A phase. I might take these guys and put them in B phase. Then I kind of want to avoid the disheartened troops as much as I can. I know that these guys actually do have pretty good equipment, but disheartened troops are kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. But having Panzerfausts versus having anti-tank rifles, you know. What does security do? Ah, that's actually kind of bonkers. Alright, we will put you in B and in C. Now, do we want Pioneers? Actually, I don't know, I'm skipping a Grenadier Panzerfausts. There we go. I don't think I can put them in other transports. Yeah, so this is probably going to be more competitive than what we had before. We're going to drop that as well. We'll keep these guys, they're cool. But, well actually, we probably should take the Fusiliers, but, you know. We're definitely going to take the Aufgal Panthers. This is a sniper team, though. Sniper teams are kinda nice. But more infantry is also kinda nice. We get 9 of these, though, so I think we'll... They're beef. Yeah, fuck it. Keep them. Do we want to change anything else up? To be honest, I am pretty content with everything else. Eh. Yeah, that's fine. This is one I'll probably run more often, but the other one seems cool too. And I might be tempted to swap some of the Bavarings into the other one, just because they're kind of unique. But, like I said, the Luftwaffe the Luftwaffe Field Division and Festung Grosser Paris are probably two of the divisions that I'm more interested in this time around. Like, the Panzer Division LSSH is going to be powerful. Same with the 2nd and the 9th Panzer Divisions, but to be honest, they're not really bringing anything like revolutionary. There's already like very powerful Panzer Divisions in the game. Um, anyway, we've got 2 more to round out. The 91st Luftland, which, as I recall, is another one that's kind of cool. And, the 716th, or whatever they're called. Which actually, the 716th is right in front of me, so, yeah, it is the 716th. So we'll do them first. As I recall, this is a division that in the previous game, I used to set it up to be like when I wanted to fight scenarios against divisions that were just full infantry divisions, I think this is the one that I used to use as the template for it. And you can set them, well actually, I guess you can't anymore, but back then, no, you can. You can set them up to be, like, very disheartened or, you know, actually kind of good. So I'll probably make a template for that as well. They are pretty cool, though, in what they get. So we'll bring our Cossacks, we'll bring our Italians, but we'll bring them in B phase, I believe. Bring more Cossacks in A phase. Bring the Kriegsmarine infantry in A phase. Actually, we might bump somebody to B phase. Panzer Grenadiers will be in B phase. That's cute. Might take that one instead, just because it looks cool. Again, I kind of want to avoid disheartened troops as much as I can. We're almost guaranteed to have to take them this time around, though. Alright, so we have disheartened pioneers, disheartened grenadiers. They get... no, they don't, so I'd rather have the pioneers than the grenadiers. They're just better equipped. Probably better than the Osttruppen as well, although the Osttruppen do get a PPSH, so, you know. And then there's the flak troops. These guys are cool just because there's a lot of them, but, I mean, these are the guys that are supposed to be manning AA guns that are getting handed a rifle and told to go fight on the front line. Boy, did they not sign up for this. Alright, for funsies, we're gonna throw the flak boys on. We're gonna take the Cossacks, and we're going to bump them to B phase. And we're gonna leave that slot open for now. Ooh. Got a boys AT rifle. Wonder where they picked that up. Oh, yeah, they straight up don't get tanks. They just don't have a tank tab. Oh my god. I may take this off, but we'll put that on for now. Yeah. Too bad we only get 2 of them. Is that a pack 40? Hell yeah, dude! I gotta rather have 6 of them and give them some veterancy. Probably need those in A. Oh, we can take more. B. Pack 40. B. I don't really put a lot of value in these little 2-man AT teams. I know you can make them operate like little guerrilla groups and like hide them along roads and whatnot behind enemy lines, but it's not always as effective as it sounds. Actually, this probably isn't even something that I need to worry about. I bet we're gonna have so many points. I lied. I'm gonna spend so many points here. Look at mine rocketen. We'll actually bring artillery spotters this time. And like a battery commander. It's not something I normally do, to be honest. It should be fine for now. Oh, I forgot they get ducks. Probably should bring it since he's an ace. I don't know how many of these we're actually going to be able to bring, though. lean towards the Fokker Wolves here. I still lean towards the Fokker Wolves. Boom. Alright. And that's a lineup. And just for funsies, we'll probably run it back on them real quick and make the other version. Boom. I might have actually done it with these guys as well, with the 715. I've done it with a few of these infantry divisions that are kind of iffy. Wow, I can bring a lot of them. We probably should bring a little bit of something to keep them, you know, from getting obliterated. I might actually drop one of the... I know the goal here was to run disheartened troops, but even if it's just for, like, playing into them, I feel bad putting that many disheartened troops on. I kind of want to at least put these Cossacks on. Oh, I forgot about these. Well, actually, it's 150 mil howitzer. Why not? Alright. And now our last division is going to be the 91st Luftland Division. Which, it's rated for B, so hopefully it'll be pretty good. And it says something about airborne troops in there, which are always good. these guys will be good. Same with those. They have really good infantry or scout infantry options. Yo, they have an infantry ace. That's really interesting. We take those. These guys seem kind of neat, but these guys are probably the play. I actually get 8 of them, so we'll go with those. That should be fine. Tank support looks kind of iffy. It's probably not worth spending more points on them. We'll come back to that. If we've got extra points, then we can throw something in for A phase. In this case, I think we actually will take one of those. I don't know if that'll even be enough for A phase. 120 mils of pen's probably enough for A phase. Let's see, we get 3 of these, 190 mils, or we can get 6 of them with 120. I think we'll take the Pack 40s, to be honest. We may come back to that. Well, here we go. As you know, I do like my rocket artillery. Ah, there's only one though. Hurts me dearly. Well, I'm a simple Drew. I see rocket artillery and I click. It's interesting. Oh, okay, I see, I see. Ooh, now that is a spicy loadout. I wish I could get that in enlisted. Imagine. It's not bad. Yeah, we got points to burn, so why not bring them in A phase? I don't really want to spend more points on air. I probably will put more points in here. B phase on them. 2 points to go. No more air. Probably do AT. Yeah, it'll have to be AT. These actually could be good. These ones actually have raiders, so they actually would perform well behind enemy lines. Trouble is actually getting them there. Still, you never know. Yeah, I don't think there's really a whole lot that I could or would do differently here. I mean, I could take less artillery or different artillery, but this isn't really a division list that has a whole lot of choices. I really wish I could just get B2s. Like, if I could have just gotten a single card of B2s that aren't command B2s, I would have taken them. Although I guess you could run them instead of, like, this guy. And that might actually not be a terrible idea. So that should round out all of our new German decks. I'll probably sit down and do this again for the Allies. I like a lot of the new stuff. We'll see how it performs. To be honest, I think a lot of the German decks aren't super exciting, and they aren't, like, tremendously different from what we already have. Let me turn on my filters. So if we just look at Axis divisions, like, obviously there's a lot of them, but they aren't crazy different. I think the main draw to this is probably what you get on the Allied side with the Americans and the British, since they're in the game, but there aren't really a whole lot of them in the game. Or at least up until now there weren't. But this does give us some neat options. Sometimes I theme my battles around certain types of decks, so having the Luftland there, and having the other Luftwaffe one, the Luftwaffe Field Division, gives me interesting options to run alongside the paratroopers. Because in the past, I'd run the various Fallschirmjäger divisions. Yeah, I can't specifically filter for that, but if we go in here, we've got the first, third, and fourth first, third, and fourth Fallschirmjäger, and then I would go down and run the Italian paratroopers alongside them, wherever they are. They rename them or move them or something? I don't know, but there is an Italian paratrooper division somewhere around here. And I do rather like them. I swear. There should be more Italian divisions. That's weird. Maybe something needs to be reinstalled, but regardless, there are other Italian divisions, or at least there were. Although they might be labeled as German, so I don't know. But there are divisions that have Italian paratroopers in them. So, let me know. Are you a Steel Division player? Are you happy with the new additions? I like them. I'm really looking forward to making the Allied side of this. So, look out for that. As per usual, get out there, kick ass, take names, and win your games.